Welcome to my Hebrew channel, Mila Baraika. I'm looking at Psalm 37, verses 3 and 4. This is the section that begins with Bet. The psalm is an acrostic, and so this is the point we're at in terms of starting this section, these two verses with Bet, Betah. Okay, that's well-known, Batah, well-known verb. Proverbs 31 also does use the same one. There it's the Baal, Batah, Baal, that is the husband trusts in the Eshed Hayil. Here it's a hortatory to trust in the Lord, trust in Jehovah. So that's how this one begins. So yeah, Psalm 37 does share, has some commonality or shares a verb with Proverbs 31, that'd be verse 11. So the second part of the acrostic there of Proverbs 31. Anyway, we get to Beth, and this time around I'm going to be including translations. When I did the first two verses, I didn't put the translations in. I like doing them as I go, but I will admit I stumbled on the erech deshe. Okay, so looking back at that, I'm probably going to do that one over again. So I'll get back to it. Anyway, we're going to do Psalm 37, verse 3 and 4. And I'll have the translation on board for you. First in English and then in Spanish. This time around, the Spanish did a better job of what's there in the Hebrew. So I worked with the Spanish first and then found a translation. I think the one of the standard translations, and actually did work it down, or did work on it some, so it fits a little closer to what's in the Hebrew. So very, very, very literal translation, as you'll see pretty soon here. So yeah, get to the Sason. This time around, a few challenges. The Amunah right here, and the Surik, the dot indicating Surik is pretty well lost. And over here, we're looking for a hit. And then the corrector, the person who was cleaning up the text, really didn't emphasize the hirik right here. And there's also very interesting positioning here of a holem. So, but we'll get to that. And it's an interesting read using an ancient text like this, 1,100 years old, and there it is. Generally, it is quite clear. And incidentally, the Kama Satuv is captured by the BART audio track here. So if you have the BART application on your phone, listen to it, and the describe this, catch the Kama Satuv very closely here. Shachon edits. Okay, let's get into it. Betah be Jehovah ve'asa tov shachon eretz u're'eh emunah ve'hit anach al Yehovah ve'yeten lecha mishalot livecha. And this time around is quite clear Hebrew, so that's very nice to see. Batan is, of course, trust, and as I said already, Proverbs 31 verse 11 begins with the same one. So sometimes in acrostics they do share certain keywords, and this is one that does get shared somewhat. So trust, Jehovah. This Batah here would be for the Ba Adonai, to produce the vowel sound of Adonai, but I translate Yehovah, and so I'm going to do this one as a shua. So be Yehovah, trust in Jehovah, va asa, and then do good. These are all hortatory. Va asa tov. Now we get back to the previous two verses. It says, "Don't fret over those who are doing evil." Okay, Oshe Avel. So, and so this one here is much in contrast to the previous use of asa. So in other words, our psalm has already used asa in a negative sense, and now we're going to be using it in a positive sense. Good thing to see. Like I said, almost all of the verse, actually, all of these two verses are from a positive focus of speaking to those who love the Lord, those who must trust in the Lord and those who do things that the Lord wants of us. So, be'asa, and then do good. Asa tov, nice rafe right here to just gives that bit a nice smooth ending to it. It ends here with atna. Atna and atna are used to separate the two sections of each verses. So a beautiful use of atna. Shechon, like I said, now your Blue Letter Bible and your Bart Bibles in the transliteration, they'll pump this thing through as a normal comments. No, it is a comments hatuv. Okay, Shechon eretz. Now, Shechon is to live, to dwell. You can remember it from Shekinah. Okay, Shekinah is the Jehovah lives, the habitation of Jehovah, and incidentally, you have Shechon. It looks a lot like Nachon. In other words, there's a Kaf Nun has a sense of yes, that is so. Okay, so to live, or yes, you can live there. Okay, Shechon eretz. Nice mukra right here, and incidentally, the person who's doing the accenting tends to copy that. In the previous one, the person who did the highlighting made that one much darker. But here, these are the original unretouched versions of this accent. So eretz, of course, land, and double segolate. And double segolates, as you notice right here, will carry a mil el accenting. So so it's nice to see it here. Veshachon eretz. Okay, so just to pronounce this comments to it's an O here, O sound. Veshachon eretz, and you live in the land. You live in the land, dwell in the land. Re, and befriend faithfulness. Now, the English translations, the classic English translation are you will consume or you will eat or something like that. Actually, this is the verbal end of Ruth. The book of Ruth is the name Ruth is based. The name Ruth is actually a construct infinitive of this verb right here. So re'eu, okay, to be friending, to be befriend, to be a friend, serve as a friend, and so forth. So re'e, okay, and to be a friend. Emunah. Okay, now the corrector here almost pasted over the surik, the little dot indicating the surik right here, but it is emunah, very clearly emunah, faithfulness. This is a noun that's based on amen. I call these amen. Yeah, you start with the Hebrew words gather themselves in family. It's family of amen. Okay. Something that you're going to say amen to. This is amen. This is the real thing. This is a good thing. So faithfulness. Now, some translations are going to put this through here as truth. We tend to think of amunah in Western thinking as truth, but it's mainly in Hebrew thought faithfulness. Emunah. Nice siluk right here. No sof pasuk, okay? Here we do have sof pasuk at the end of the two verses. Modern translations go, oh, no, I really should have the sof pasuk in here. They'll stick it in for you. But our scribe said, we're going to do fine just with a siluk. So, okay, amunah, faithfulness. And ve, and again, beginning with a conjunction right here. Hit anag, okay? Now, here again, we can complain to the scribe that should have been fixing things, and he should have been fixing this little hitik right in there. And if you look very carefully, you might see it there. But that's a reflexive hitpael, okay, hitpael. And so, if you're going to wonder why this yourself is in here, it's because of the hitpael. These two, or yeah, the two hey. The hey tau that's at the front of this particular verb is hitpael. It's a reflexive auditory thing, And so delight yourself. Okay? Yourself comes from the heat pile. The verb root here is anach. That's a double commas here. No double patan here. And there's your nun is also doubled up here. So anach, to delight, okay, to be happy about. So be happy with yourself. Al, on or over, or with, in, yeah, in is good. Al, Jehovah, and here again, I find it always interesting in ancient texts that the scribe is okay with leaving in what would have been the original way of saying this word, or this name, the divine name, of course, here, with you got a dot on the top here, Olam, and then a Shabbat, and then Kamas, and so Al Yehovah. Now, modern printing texts, they've scrubbed this Olam right here. It isn't. They can say, well, we didn't really see it. It's very, very, very faint here, but there it is. Al Yehovah, with or towards Jehovah. Ve yeten, and then he gives lecha, to you, singular prefix ending of the pronoun here, and he gives to you yeten. There's a metech right here, so that this basically forces us to pronounce the ye. Okay, yeten, yeten lecha, to you. Mishalot. And the Holam here almost got itself obliterated, but it's still there. Mishalot, the desires, okay, desires, feminine plural noun right here, levecha, of your heart, okay, desires of your heart. Now, in reading this and meditating over it, don't use this one as a prosperity thing. I'd like to have this, I'd like to have that, and so forth. Because all of these here, trust in Jehovah, do good, befriend faithfulness, delight yourself in Jehovah, all of those good things make our heart connect very closely to the will of Jehovah. And so when that is so, at that point, when our heart really reflects the will of Jehovah for us, then most certainly whatever Jehovah wants for us, that's what he will give to us. And it isn't necessarily richness or fame or anything like that. It is what Jehovah wants for us. And so that means we have to have our hearts open to the will of Jehovah in our hearts, and not just simply say, oh, okay, the Lord's going to give you whatever you want in and of yourself. That's not the case. No, whatever Jehovah considers the best for you, that's what he will be giving to you. Okay, and then that becomes the desire of your heart, which can be really good things: trusting in Jehovah, living in the land in a stable condition, living a life of faithfulness, being very happy in Jehovah. When those are desires of your heart, that's what Jehovah is going to give to you. So treat this devotionally. It's very beautiful concepts working here in this particular psalm. And David, it's a psalm of David. Many times David, of course, faced all kinds of adversities. But in the end, he realized that it was Jehovah who was with him through it all. And when he focused his heart on the will of Jehovah, then of course Jehovah cared for him and protected him throughout the middle of all of the troubles that he had to face in his life. And that's very true for us. When we turn our hearts to Jehovah, he then gives the desires of our heart, and those desires are what his will is for our lives. So may God bless, and may you open your heart to direction of Jehovah, and he most certainly will fill your heart with all those good things that he wants of you. So may God bless, and may God strengthen you today. Until the next time.